You hear Patrick Allvin, their GM, frame it and say, essentially, we got 3 first rounders here because you have the first round pick, of course. Ratty was a first rounder. Beauvillier was a first rounder. So I would agree in that they are first round equivalents, is what you would call them. But in this case, when you take a look, the Canucks have essentially, basically, in my opinion, been hamstrung by their thought process here, in the sense that they want to retool their roster, right? They don't want to rebuild. So they didn't want to go all futures. And when you go this route and you pick up guys like Beauvillier and Ratty, what I think it does is it ratchets up the temperature for you to get the trade right. You need to nail all of the pieces in the deal if you are going to retool instead of rebuild. And I just don't know that we've seen enough from Beauvillier. I certainly don't know enough, and no one knows enough about Ratty to make a decision one way or the other. But in this case, what's the ceiling for Beauvillier? I don't know that it's all that high, and that for me kind of changes the optics of the trade. What about for you?
Well, I agree because Beauvillier is a reclamation project. At just over $4 million, and probably gearing towards maybe 15 goals on a season. Like that doesn't equate. That doesn't jive. And there's a year left on his contract. So the part of it is that I think it's probably the cost of doing business, Frank. Like Lamoriello had to move that deal out in order to get this done, and good on him to be able to rid himself of a contract that wasn't great. But you look at the Canucks, and again, it's just this is a lot of down the road. Like Ratty is, like he's still up in the air, Frank. Like, is he? He's probably, from people I've talked to that have played, I think he's probably a third line center, reliable, smart. Maybe he could play some second line, but that's not really a game changer. And then the first round pick might even be in the next year. So from the Canucks perspective, I would want futures. I wouldn't want to keep going this route. Now you got Kuzmenko and Beauvillier taking up cap space that they've been trying to gain, or say that they're trying to gain. They really haven't gained a whole lot.